Hello, good evening, and welcome to this very special edition of Mackmyra Live. Guys, before we get into the show, just to let you all know that our brand new release that we're going to be talking about this evening, Körsbärsrök, is live on mackmyra.co.uk starting now. As the show progresses, we're going to tell you a little bit more about it, and we're going to tell you some special features that we've got for our people that buy from mackmyra.co.uk. So tonight I'm joined by two great guests. First of all, I've got the UK sales manager, Shane Perry.
Hello everybody. Hello Mick. Hello Angela.
How are you doing, Shane? And
Good,
our
thanks,
very,
Mick.
very special guest this evening is our Chief Nose Officer, Angela D'Orazio.
Hi Mickey, hi Shane, hi everyone.
Fantastic. So, you're all wondering why tonight is a special show. As I just alluded to, it's our release of our brand new moment, Körsbärsrök. It doesn't spell like that for all non-native Swedish people. That's another reason we have Angela here as well to correct mine and Shane's bad pronunciation. So tonight we're here to talk about it. So, Angela, this is a Moments release. So what's special about the Moment range?
So the Moments are the most exclusive you can find in the Mackmyra range if you talk about our bottlings. So if you want something more exclusive, you would have to go and buy yourself a cask.
Oh, nice. So that would be that cask ownership that we're pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that next step up from the Moments range then.
Yeah. So the most exclusive in the bottling range is the Moment series, and it's actually what the name says. It's a moment found in the warehouse, a few casks, a little small batch, perhaps, that are being found or were meant to be.
Also, I mean that sounds lovely, doesn't it? So we're here to talk about Körsbärsrök. Shall I say? What is Körsbärsrök? And please correct my pronunciation.
I don't know. I haven't heard about it. What is that? Is that a Russian product or something?
Mickey, it was bound to happen to us, mate.
Oh, 100%, mate, 100%.
Oh Lord.
Well, you didn't read my Facebook post today because I put out the phonetical pronunciation of it there. Yeah, okay, but I'll be better on giving it out to people.
Thank you.
Anyway, but you're right. It's not the easiest name. It's like a really difficult name for anybody who's not Swedish to say. But körsbär is cherry in Swedish, and rök, as we all know, is smoke. So körsbärsrök.
Oh, I missed out the middle sh bit. Right, okay. Right, I'll note that down.
Körsbärsrök.
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 So what was the question?
What is it?
Oh dear.
So cherry smoke. We know that much.
Yeah.
What was behind it basically? What made you bring that one out?
What's the base is really nice smoky whiskey, really nice smoke tail whiskey that has been laying in small casks, in 100-liter casks down in Bodås for actually 10 years now, and I've been monitoring them and just beautiful old bourbon cask, but smaller, rebuilt by us. So the quarter cask, you could say, by Mackmyra, yeah. So 100 liters. So 10-year, it was fantastic. It was just the perfect moment. And then we also had our lovely 9-year-old cherry casks, which were the last 6 years on the seasoned cask with the cherry wine. and the first 3 years on the big ex-bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
So I was just curious because the both are so beautiful, and I thought, like, if these don't go well together, I'm going to eat my hat, and they went well together. So that was like
fantastic. So, where did we get the cherry wine from, Angela?
Well, it's actually German, but we have a huge tradition of, we have a lot of cherries in Sweden. I think you have that in the UK as well. It's like this, these parts of the world, it grows well. But we really searched for Swedish cherry wine and couldn't find any in quantities that we wanted, and in quantities that we could be sure that we could rebuy if we wanted it when we bought it for the first time in 2012-13. So therefore we found this little family producer, Amorella, in Germany, Amorella Kirsch, exactly. And and they sent us, like I told Andreas, our German sales guy, to send me some bottles of everything that they've done. And it's like a massive production of anything you can think of in cherry. So everything from really dry food wines to really sweet liqueurs. Okay. And this was a strong fortified wine, quite sweet, that I decided to buy, and we've been happy for that ever since we started working with it, and we're continuing to work with it because it really suits the Mackmyra whiskey.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, Angela, you mentioned smoky casks there, and smoky tails.
Smoke tail,
yeah, smoke tail. Sorry, yeah, smoke tail. So that's quite a new phrase for me to be learning. So can you explain a bit what smoke tails is, please?
Yeah. So traditionally in the Scottish whiskey world, you have the distillery who's making, traditionally only one type of make. So you either make the non-smoky whiskey or you make the smoky whiskey, and that's your brand. Yeah. But in the new world, we are sort of we can make things up along as we go. So of course, Mackmyra, we make both non-smoky whiskey, which we call elegant, and a smoky whiskey, and we also do an extra smoky whiskey. And I get distracted by Dave's.
Yes, Dave.
Dave's always good for a wee distraction.
You know what we should do, Angela? We should start sending Dave the new release. So when he comes on the show, he has the new release.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really lovely too, Dave. I really appreciate that one. So back to the discussion about the smoke tail. So we're doing a season of non-smoky whiskey, the elegant one, and then of course we're doing a season of the smoky whiskey on the same distillery. And when we are ending the smoky whiskey season in the pipes in the distillery, we have a lot of smoke going on the first week after we have started doing the elegant stuff. But it's still there. So we are putting that stuff the first week aside, and we put a big X on it, which means smoke tail.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So it's a smoke tail whiskey. The first days is really smoky, and then of course it goes down gradually. But it's put aside so we can decide if it's going to go into like a smoke batch later on, or if it's going to be something lighter. And this is a mix of the stronger and the lighter smoke, I would say.
Fantastic.
Angela, so because you mentioned 2010 is when we distilled this. Was this distilled at the Mackmyra Brooks distillery because of the age of it. So it was, and then obviously matured at Bodås.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Because we only opened the new distillery in 2012. So I was just wondering when.
2011, 2012. So the stuff that comes from 2011 and on is both places, half 2011 and 2012, and a part of 2013 was also the old Brooks distillery, and then we put it in mothball. We mothballed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And
go on, Shane, sorry.
No, you go.
No, so obviously we notice on this moment that it sits at the 43% ABV mark. So Mackmyra Bruk influence, the warehouse that's been used, etc. So how do all these factors affect that ABV then, please?
Yeah, so down in Bodås we have a really a lot of humidity. So it's 99% humidity down there. That's the spice rack, as we call it, the spicing room. So we usually get we get a bit less of alcohol because of that. But since we use a lot of smaller casks, we get a little less of alcohol because of that too. And when we use the wine seasoned stuff, then perhaps there is a few, just a little less alcohol because of that too. So in this case, the whole whiskey was finished or was matured on smaller casks. So therefore it went down to 43.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's always interesting. You look at these like slightly older whiskies and you go, that's pretty much cash strength right there as well. And you look at it, but that's only 43%, expecting people to want like the higher ABV stuff. Well, we can't make it high because that's naturally because of its environment that is mature.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So what we need to do is that we need to either non-dilute the whiskey that is going to be older. That's a strategy that many producers do, because most of the whiskey that people sell is between 5 and 8 years old, and the best whiskey comes out in the casks if you dilute the whiskey when it's going to be bottled younger, because the harsher tones from the wood doesn't come out then. But if you're gonna make an older whiskey, you need to keep it undiluted and put it into the cask. So that's what we need to do if we want to do older whiskey, or we can also build a new warehouse or make a warehouse room somewhere where we have a drier climate.
Correct.
Yeah. So you have drier and warmer, if you like, but so those are the two conditions that we need to sort of think about to make it older whiskey that doesn't go below 40.
Yeah. See, all that side of stuff, I mean, that just interests the life out of me, quite frankly. I could spend hours just geeking out and just talking about that kind of thing, but everything else goes and that I enjoy that stuff, so that's quite good. But no, all that sounds awesome. But obviously we used cherry casks for previous releases. Could you take us through a couple of them?
Yeah, so I don't remember the sequence of them.
That's okay. The guys in the back will try and get the pictures right, or whatever you say. They'll try and get the pictures right.
They'll try and match it.
Are they going to put a proper prompt up for you?
Yeah. Okay. So that's the Scorpions. So it's a cherry and sherry finish, and it's So there you got the cherry as well.
Yeah.
And they really like the fact that the wine was German, because they are German.
So rumor has it as well, Angela, that you actually met Scorpions.
Yeah, sure. I was in Rudy's house. Rudy, the singer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You did good.
Just some guy that was apparently famous or
Yeah.
something.
I have pictures. I can show them to you later. I got proof.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I met them. I met them when they came to Sweden for a concert, and we talked about making a whiskey for them, and then I did my trials, and then I sent them the stuff, and the stuff that they liked, then that they wanted to have was the cherry.
And Angela, was that? I mean, you know Mickey D as well, don't you, from Motorhead and from Scorpions?
Yes.
So there was some connection there already when you guys started. Oh dear, we've lost them both. Oh,
we're back. I do not know what happened there.
That was my mom calling. I told her I was busy, but she wasn't in hospital. So she didn't really care.
And then we've also done a few others, haven't we? Eva?
Yes.
Mamma, jag sitter online nu här. Jag kan inte prata. Jag ringer till dig efter klockan 9. Ja, okej. Puss. Hej då. Yeah, sorry about that.
Not at all. Only live TV.
That's mom. You can't ignore your mom.
Yeah, no, never.
definitely ever don't ignore your mum.
No.
So we've done Efer as well, and Shushbar. Another one we did with them.
Yeah, so we had the moment Körsbär, which was 100% only cherry wine finished casks, 200 liters, and beautiful and really, really nice whiskey.
No, Dave's managed to find some Körsbär as well.
The Moment Körsbär was released in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then we had a seasonal whiskey, which you recognize by the package. This is blomstertid, which means flower times in Swedish, and that was the first that I remember. That was the first edition that we released with a cherry wine.
Okay. So
and then we also had Moment Eva, which also contains cherry wine finished. Eva
had just one cask of that, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Very well.
Also a moment.
You have done your homework.
Well, if I can't pronounce it properly, I can at least talk about it knowledgeably.
Hey, listen, you guys. Let's enough talk. Let's try this whiskey. I'm getting a bit thirsty over here.
Get a bit dry, actually.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Angela,
I had to fight for this bottle to get it home yesterday. Well, I wasn't up at the distillery, and they had to give me the only one in the office in Stockholm, and and there was a lot of talking about what they were using it for, and blah blah blah. And in the end,
and you know why that is, Angela? Because we've only made 1,500 bottles of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's your fault.
Yes.
But that's why everybody's holding on to it.
Yeah.
Will you take us through this, please, Angela?
Yeah. So the whiskey then is 9 to 10 year old, and 75% of the whiskey is the smoky stuff. So which means the cherry has a good portion, but not it's not overwhelming the smoke.
Yeah.
Correct.
So if you put your nose into it, the strength is, I would say, perfect. You don't need much water in this. You You can show the jug, hello jug, and then you put it away.
Hello, Mr. Pipette, this is my glass.
I want to spoil it. But Andrew, you know what I noticed about this whiskey? The very first thing I noticed was the color.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it? The color. I don't even want to see it. If anyone's
it has a little reddish reflex.
Very much.
Yeah, on it.
And it goes really well with obviously with the packaging, with the red packaging. And I don't know if that's just by choice or it's good fortune, but
I'm sure it is by choice.
Well,
Someone
Anton, sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Really?
Oh.
Yeah. So Anton, Malm, and Isabella. Isabel are our graphical designers, and they are
world class. They are.
Yeah,
they are.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. So you sense the classical Mackmyra fruitiness and the classical Mackmyra herbal tones with the smoke, and the smoke is sort of quite light.
It is. It's subtle.
It's subtle. It goes there. It's dancing around the fruitiness in this case, and you have this little oiliness to the smoke. So it's a classical Mackmyra smoke, I would say. Some people say that our smokiness has some kind of cold barbecue tones to it. I don't know.
Do you think that would be down to the chemical balance? Because obviously we put the juniper twigs on the top of our peat, don't we?
Yeah.
But do you think maybe that's got something to do with maybe that description?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's like an association that goes closer to what people know than the pure peat.
Yeah,
that's right. And I always get bonfire or sort of sitting around a campfire when I smell our peat.
I find it stronger in the empty glass. So see, after you just finished a Svenskrug, and then you smell the glass on completion before you go and wash it up. I find that bonfire is more prevalent then. So you can smell it a little bit while the liquid's in the glass, but once the liquid's gone and you've still only got maybe the remnants of the glass, etc., I find that bonfire smell is more intense.
Skull, by the way.
And I would say our smoke is also more palatable than noticeable. I mean, in the whiskey. So then in the glass, it's another thing. But if you compare the smoky nose to other smoky distillation or other smoky whiskeys, ours is quite shy in the nose.
Well, that's because we don't use 100% of the smoke. Sorry, Andrea.
Yeah, but it's not jumping out at you. It's not like it's quite shy in the nose.
Yeah, and is that because obviously we don't use 100% of our smoked barley for the recipe?
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, so the smoky recipe contains 1/3 of our smoky malt, and the extra smoky recipe contains 2/3 to explain it simply. So so it's like Bowmore. We're not having 100% of smoky malt in our smoky whiskey. That's it's from the beginning. It was a fact of surviving and making smoky whiskey just enough, because we were just allowed to have the 6 weeks of smoking. The kiln was staying on the old Mackmyra Bruk. So therefore, the recipe was sort of cut out to last a bit longer. And then we also created the extra smoky recipe. But when we did the tests there, we were quite satisfied with the fact to use 2/3 of the smoke.
Oh.
I'd love to be able to test a trial one day of new make of 100% smoking, because obviously we smoked to what was it, 60 ppm?
Yeah, roughly.
I mean that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But because we don't,
I'm sure other people would be interested as well. But
because we don't, Mickey, we're far more approachable to people coming into peat, people who have never tried peat before. So it's far more acceptable at that level. But I was just going to say, on this finish, you get a lot of fruitiness, and it almost comes across sweet, but it's not. which really appeals to me. So you get the smokiness, you get the sweetness, the spiciness. It's a lovely balanced whiskey.
Yeah, I like the fruit. I like the fruit that sort of, it's kind of, it goes really well together with the smoke. In my case, I'm kind of sort of going into the lighter smoky whiskeys. You know, if you talk about me drinking them at home, and this is for me perfect in the smokiness.
Definitely,
I agree with you, Angela.
I have to agree with that.
I do.
Because some of the heavier peated stuff, you wake up the next morning, and just before you have your first cup of coffee in the morning, you can still taste a bit of the peat smoke on the back.
Yeah. I mean, the really smoky stuff, you can sense it for days in your taste buds if you're.
I'm not that sensitive, unfortunately.
All
so
right.
just the morning for me.
And it's just lovely. I think it's really lovely. And for Christmas, I mean, who wouldn't want one of these for Christmas? They're fabulous, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
and I think these goes together well also with if you make sort of a something sweet and you have a little cherry in there. Of course, you would have to add a little of this into it to make it a bit rougher, and then you have a little cake, I would say.
I was going to say
a lot of
ice cream, cherry ice cream.
Yeah, or a lot of people put brandy into their Christmas cake, don't they? They start making their Christmas cake around about now, and keep feeding it with rum. So maybe this would be a really good alternative to feed your Christmas cake with.
You will get a homework now. You should go home or if you're at home, go and do a Christmas cake with this, and then get back to us.
Make it a cherry Christmas.
My good lady would not thank you for letting me loose in the kitchen like that. I could do a nice pasta dish. I could do a nice curry, not a problem. Start baking. No,
right.
Not happening.
But what about this to a nice curry or in a nice
definitely.
Yeah, spiciness. It would go down like a treat.
Yeah. I did a nice chicken tikka the other night. I've brought a new, mostly Indian batch cookbook. That's what it's called. From a friend. A friend of mine, his friend, made this cookbook up over lockdown. So I like supporting things like that. So I brought a copy. Well, I've made at least 2 recipes a week, and it's not helping the lockdown weight. Not at all.
Can you buy me one of those as well?
No problem at all.
Good, because I really love the Indian cuisine.
It's fantastic, quite simple, but really good. So
I'm going to have another dram.
You should, Shane. You should.
Go ahead.
Really
Be
like
careful,
this.
Shane. Be careful because there is only 1,500 bottles available.
You're right, Mick. You're right.
So what does that mean for us in the UK?
Well, I just want to say to Carl and to Kevin, who have both bought one now, I hope you guys managed to get what you wanted. But what it really means to Mick is that we have allocations for Germany, for Sweden, for the rest of the world, and for the UK. And unfortunately, we only got 240 bottles in the UK. And so it's very limited. And when it's finished, it's finished. There isn't any more, guys. There isn't. Angela doesn't have a secret deposit somewhere in an office or at home.
I bet she does. I bet she does.
No, she doesn't. So if you want a bottle, you've got to get in now and get it. But we're running a really good special, Mick. So if you go online today and buy it, it's live on www.mackmyra.co.uk. You can pick your number. So whatever bottle you want between 1 and 100, you can pick whatever number you want. And we have 2 additional numbers, 888 and 1,500. So those are the numbers you can pre-pick, and you'll get those. Or if you don't want to do that, you're happy to just get a random bottle. We're going to offer you a Moment 22, a 5CL, which is also discontinued. Well, when I say discontinued, we're out of stock, which was our summer and spring release. So there's 2 options, but you've got to get in there quick. Stock is limited, not only in terms of what Angela let us have, but also in terms of the Moment 22. There isn't a lot, guys. So if I were you, I'd get in there now and make it a cherry Christmas.
Well, I think there's only 20 Moment 22 samples.
Something like that, but you can't have both. You can either have the Moment 22 or the limited number. And the numbers, again, you can either pick 1 to 100 or 888 or 1,500. I see Kevin said he didn't see that choice. Kevin, Leave your number with us afterwards. I'm sure Connor can get a hold of you, and we'll sort something out for you. And I see Carl's already bought. He went for the moment 22. Good call, Carl. Unders, or buy 2 bottles, one with your number and one with your...
Well, there is that option as well.
So,
I like it, Anders. I like it.
Anders, you're a good man. So buy both, yes. Buy both, guys. Take one of both. So get in now, because there won't be many left. And when tonight's over, it's over. So obviously,
this the new moment, Körsbärsrök, is I'm getting better. Is not our only moment that we've got available at the moment. That's a lot of moments in one sentence. Shane, what other moments do we have available?
So yes, and this is another thing you need to think about with Christmas coming, guys. We're not just limited to Körsbärsrök. We've got Prestige, we've got Caribbean, we've got Fjällmark, and we've got Efa. So they all have different finishes. The Fjällmark is obviously Cadbury cast finish. We have none left in Sweden. Here's a tip: none left in Sweden. So what's left in the UK and in Germany is it. There is none left, and that'll be it for the rest of the world. We don't have any Fjällmark left. Caribbean rum cast finished, superb whiskey. Also limited numbers.
Plantation rum, is that as well, Shane?
Plantation rum cask, correct. Keep watching the show. There's some announcement coming in a few months. Then we have Efa, which is birch sap and cherry wine cask. So if you don't make it on this one, let me tell you, that is a very good whiskey. Very, very good whiskey. And then we have my very
beautiful stopper as well.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then you have my very, very favorite, which is Prestige Philippe Ponard champagne cask finish, which is, for me, the best in our range. So yes, guys, if you don't manage to get one of the Körsbärsrök, please have a look at the rest of the range and get one for Christmas. Anyway, that's my sales speech.
that's the UK sales brand.
Well done, Shane.
Thank you, Angela.
Out of the rest of the moments that we have available, apart from our new one, which one out of those 4 would be your favorite? What would be your choice on those moments?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that was rather aggressive.
It was actually. I thought she's going to give you a smack.
Isn't it just? Hey, you talking to me? You talking to me?
Well, you know, they're all my babies, and I have the history with them. So, really, I think moment Fjällmark or Eva. Of those old ones. Moment 22, I just seen it pass by like this. I didn't have a chance to buy it when it was in Sweden. I was too late. So I have a bottle in my office, but I haven't had it at home, you know.
In a relaxed environment.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to take a sample and taste it. But yeah, if you twist my arm, I think I would say Fjällmark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what does Fjällmark mean, Angela? What does that mean?
It's the ground. It's the you know, the bare ground in the mountains, in the Swedish mountains, where you have above the tree limit, where the trees doesn't grow anymore. So then you have the top in Sweden is the fjäll. The top of the mountain. So Fjällmark is really the treeless, the bare ground on the mountain.
Okay, that's pretty cool. See, I like doing these things with people from the distillery, and especially with Angela, because you learn that little bit extra detail, and I quite like that.
And do you know why we named it like that?
No. Because
the cloudberries, they grow up there.
Ah, right. Okay. So on bushes.
No, not on bushes. No? Okay. On small flowers, actually.
Oh, okay.
So they are they grow on the bogs. So the peat bog land, sort of.
Yeah.
Kevin just went back, guys. So 888's gone. Kevin's just went back and bought another one. And Mark Taylor, who owns a little whiskey shop. Well done, Kevin, by the way. Thank you very much. So you guys are losing out. You're going to have to tell Kevin to stop by. Mark's just said from a little whiskey shop that he has some Moment 22. So if anybody's interested and wants a Moment 22, speak to Mark. He's got some moments left.
Cheeky free plug for Mark. Not a problem, yeah. Mark.
You won't have many, guys. I can tell you that much. So,
no. Well, there weren't that many available in the first place, so definitely won't have that many left.
Correct.
So, guys, that's pretty much all we've got time for tonight. Shane, do you want to just run us through the special offer again?
Yeah, sure. So, guys, just a quick one. Go on to .co.uk, pick your number between 1 and 100. 88's gone. I mean, 888's gone. There is 1,500 left, and then Kevin's got in there just now. And get those bottles, or buy it. Just get any bottle and get a miniature 22, which will be the last. And yeah, otherwise, keep your eye open at some of the leading whiskey shops. There should be, maybe, hopefully, after tonight, there'll be some left around. But that's all there is. 1,500, guys. That's
it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Unless we can bribe Angela's secret stash somewhere.
Carl's just come back on. He's just bought another one. 78's gone as well now, guys.
There you go. There you go. They're flying, literally flying out the door, guys. Flying out the door. And obviously, I've got a bottle. Shane's got a bottle. I've got bottle number 208.
I've got 205.
So yeah, really not that many left, guys. So probably after this show, as we're looking at it now,
467.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're probably looking at less than 200 bottles at the moment now.
Yeah, I think we actually below 220 now in the UK. So yeah, not many left.
Okay, right, that's brilliant. So guys, we are back. Myself and Richard will be back on Wednesday for Mackmyra episode 12, and that will be with Gary from Loch Lomond. We will put some of our drams against some of their drams for some fun. We'll have a bit of banter. Me and Rich will be online again on Thursday at 7 for the core range plus yak liquor tasting. So if you haven't got your tasting pack yet, why not? How are you going to join us tasting if you haven't got it? So make sure you get your tasting pack. And Friday, myself and Rich, so next Friday, myself and Rich will be back for our second evening in the Mackmyra Inn with special VIP patron Matt McKay of Dramble fame. So, guys, Shane, any parting words for us?
Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you to everyone who's bought something tonight. Thank you very much. And thank you to Angela for coming along. It's been great. I'm glad that Angela finds our pronunciation very funny. We are terrible. We'll have to practice.
But we're learning.
But thank you as always for coming along. And yes, and guys, if you need anything, please get in contact with us on any of the social media websites.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, guys.
So, guys, thank you to Angela. Thank you to Shane for joining me this evening on this special edition of Mackmyra Life. Hope you have a pleasant evening. Don't forget where to buy your Mackmyra from. And skål.
Skål.
Skål.